Today I'm going to be talking about muscle building theories, and honestly, just kind of like some key things for my fellow pre-meds to understand about going to the gym, putting muscle on, such and such and such, right? Now, there are actual legitimate like theories in literature, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't have the time to do that. But anyways, so you know, as a pre-med, as a busy individual, as a pre-health, as whatever, it's critical that we find the time to work out, but like we don't have all the time to work out. So what that means is we cannot waste time. So once we understand what do we need to put into the gym to get results, that's pretty much it. We just gotta do that, and we can leverage it to get our end goal of whatever that is, right? And this kind of applies to more than actually like building muscle, but that's the other side of the scope of this video. So but I can divulge. But anyways, so let me go into some theory. So when it comes to like putting on muscle and going through this whole journey, it's honestly quite simple. So what it really is you have to show up to the gym, so it's consistency, and you have to continuously show up to the gym, right? Same thing, consistency. But when you're at the gym, you want to find some way to standardize your workouts, find a way to operationalize progress. So, what you can do, what you should do, is one, keep everything simple. First things first, keep everything simple. Okay? So like if your warm-ups like nothing crazy. Like I really don't think you need to warm up at all actually. Just like starting it slow and not jumping weights, that's perfectly fine. Because sometimes warm-ups can take a while depending on what you do as a warm-up, and that's potentially time draining. But what I mean by keep it simple, I mean like find a workout, even a program maybe, but depending on where you are, like just find a workout a workout that you can do consistently, right? So there's so many plans on the internet, but like essentially just try something for at least like 12 weeks. Just do the same thing every week and just see how it goes, and track, because tracking is how you're going to figure out if things are working or not, right? And more in layman's terms, the more simple theory is that so if you go to the gym, right, every, I don't know, let's say it's a push day or it's a Monday, right? Every time you have a session and you do the same exercises, you will know that you are progressing if you are getting stronger. Now there are caveats to that, but like essentially, as long as you are not ego lifting, right? If you are doing the same exercise and you do like 10 reps, and then next week you can go up in weight and maybe do those 10 reps, that is for sure some form of progression. But there's like so many ways of progression, but like to try to simplify it even more, it's the idea of doing more than before. Wow, that was not intentional, but like essentially there's many ways like to progressively overload, but it's either more reps, heavier weights, even longer like duration of your sets. But to be honest, it's kind of just more reps. But also, the whole ego lifting thing, like you want to become stronger, but you don't want to just be focused on getting stronger, because then your quality might decrease, and then if your quality decreases, um, you really can't learn from what happened in the gym. Like there's so many variables, so many potentially confounding variables if we want to go into the nerdiness stuff. Now let's go into like actual application, right? Because I did just quickly summarize and be like, oh, just get stronger, but let's go a little deeper. How do you apply this on your workouts, in your workouts, right? So you find a workout on a weekly basis. Not okay, it doesn't have to be a weekly basis, it has to be consistent. um and you have to hopefully, right, always aim for your baseline. So if you want to go 5 days, but you never go 5 days, you once in a while, but you at least make it 3 days, then make a 3 day split, and then just roll with it. There's no point in like making 4 days a 3.5 day split, um, it just kind of throws everything out of whack, and it's not really, it's not great to keep track, because you want to keep this simple. You don't want to think too hard about like, what am I going into the gym and what am I doing and what is the purpose. You want to find a program. I mean, making a program is kind of advanced, but find a program, adjust it to how you like, and just do it every week for whatever it prescribes, and just watch the numbers. Right, write everything down. You want to see what you, or you're doing a good job when on a week to week basis you are getting stronger and your form is hopefully the same, but like you're just making a little bit, like a little stronger every session. So maybe that's like a first week you might get 10 reps, second week maybe 11 reps, but even that, the form progression is kind of pretty slow. And I think most people can like at least add a couple reps session to session, with at least a week in between. So that's kind of how the rate of progression you should look at. um take a quick look at my notes. Yes, so this idea of double progression. Now, yeah, okay, I'll fit into this video. So double progression, double progression is this idea that if you're doing 3 sets of something and you give yourself a rep range. So a rep range I like to do is like maybe like 6 to 10, maybe 8 to 12. One of those rep ranges is arbitrary, but you do 3 sets, okay? So you pick a weight and hopefully you can do at least 12. But the idea of double progression is you want all 3 sets of whatever you're doing to hit the top end range of that movement. So let's just think simple. Let's do leg press. You do leg press, you have this weight on, do not change the weight. Okay, so you have a leg press and you get 12 reps. All right, and then you get 11 reps and then you get 10 reps. Okay, that's the work you did for that session. So then the next session you do, maybe this might be a good day, and you do the same weight. Don't go up in weight. That's the ego. You got ego check. You keep the same weight, and maybe you'll do 12 12 12. That's one form of progression, meaning when you hit all 12s, the 3 sets, you go up in weight. And when it comes to upping weight, it's really like, I want to say like a 5% increase. Because like, depending on what it is, like if it's a dumbbell movement, like a 10% increase is pretty crazy. And also, if it's a dumbbell, you can't really find 10%. Like you might, dumbbells probably go in increments of 5, rarely 2.5. But like, yeah, let's try to keep it to 5%, but then round down. Because when you overshoot and you try to go beyond what you're normally used to, you're probably gonna like kind of fall short. And like if your range was like, oh, I was supposed to get 8 to 12, but like you barely got 7, it's kind of demotivating. So progress slowly. Like if you're really about it, or if you want to be about it, you must understand this is a slow process, and there's no rush in doing all this stuff, because like hopefully you'll be doing it forever. So there's really no rush. um Last thing I will touch in this application section is right exercise choice. Okay, I'm gonna be so for real. Okay, this is not even science, it's some logic. If you do an exercise and it hurts, change your form a little bit. But if it still hurts, it's probably not meant for you. If you do an exercise and you don't like it, just don't do it. There's other variations or variants of that movement pattern, whatever. And do things in like a safe way, right? Like don't squat till like failure, that's a horrible idea. Or don't deadlift until your back gives out. Like just think think like you want to preserve your body and you want to make it to the next session. So I think that's all I have to say for now. I think this was a good video. I think I said a lot of great things. But yeah, overall, I think this process is really simple, and it's probably like too much to think about, as someone who has never been to a gym or someone who doesn't regularly work out. I understand there's a lot of machines and there's a lot of people that say a lot of different things, but like we also all don't do the same thing. And as a pre-med, there's only so much time you have in a day, and you just gotta figure out what works and like just do it over and over again. And because when you take your mind out of it and you like automate yourself, it's actually pretty peaceful. So that's kind of great. But yes, thank you for watching the video. Hope this is informative, and I'm always working on the next video. So thank you. Look at this cactus, I finally turned it on. I didn't know there's no batteries in there. It looks nice.